This is Cassie with Candid with Cassie, and I decided to jump on here to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about, I don't even know, honestly. I just felt the need, like I needed to come on here and talk a little bit. So today I had a photo shoot for my real estate headshots. That's why I'm dressed all fancy. And it just really made me realize how being in different atmospheres can make me feel different, and how when I enter a room, I can really feel like everyone's energy. And I don't know why I feel like everybody's this way and everybody's the same way, but come to find out they're not. Not everybody can just enter a room and just feel the chaos from all the different energy and different vibrations. And I realized that I am with a really great team, real estate team, and they all have this vibrant energy that is just it's just so welcoming and comforting. And a lot of people don't understand that, why they feel a certain way when they walk into a room with a bunch of people, or why they don't understand that others' energies can make you feel weird or feel off. And it took me a long time. It's bothering me that this side is curly and this side is not like super curly anymore. Funny. Anyways, it took me a long time to understand this. So I'm coming to a realization that, like, not everybody understands that they have these special gifts of being an empath, and being able just to know how people are feeling, to just be in someone's presence and say, you know what, I actually do know how you feel. And this can be a good thing or sometimes a bad thing, because when my husband has had a hard day at work, or when he, whatever he's feeling, I can feel it. And I'm like, babe, are you okay? If he says no, or I mean, if he says yes, I'm like, hold on, because I can feel what you're feeling. And I'm not trying to pry, and I want to do this with the respect, but I can feel that something's off. And sometimes that surprises him. But after you've been with somebody for so long, I would hope that you'd be able to build some type of relationship where you can feel how he's feeling if his energy's off. And this goes in line with my daughter too. I'm always like, this is what you're feeling and this is what you're thinking. And she's like, oh my gosh, mom, how do you know? And I'm like, I just know. Like, the other day we were playing a game and she was about to get on the bus, and she's like, guess what I'm thinking? And I'm like, that you want a matcha. And she was like, how did you know? And then she said, okay, guess what I'm thinking now? And I was like, I forget what else I said, but I had guessed right every single time. And I feel like that kind of falls in line with, not only do we have this strong relationship and I kind of know her as a person, but I can just feel and know how she's feeling, how she's thinking. And a lot of people think that it's their own anxiety. This sun is not. They feel like it's their own anxiety. It's their own emotions. And I'm here to tell you guys that it's not always you. It's not always you feeling how you feel. Sometimes it is you feeling other people's emotions, feeling other people's trauma, you know? And man, this sun. Okay, so some people may be empaths and they don't even know what this is. They don't even have understanding that some people have this gift to feel what other people feel. And for me, I was always taught, oh, that's just anxiety. That's just anxiety. And I've learned the hard way, the long way, and that's why I'm hoping I can teach you guys something, is it's not anxiety all the time. It's just not. Sorry, I could keep seeing all my wrinkle lines. It doesn't even matter. You're feeling other people, and you have to learn how to reel that in and really get understanding of it. And that is a gift. Not everybody can look at somebody and understand the way they feel. Not everybody can be in a room with people and be able to read the room or read the people and what they're going through. And I think it is so important that people are enlightened about this, because people are getting diagnosed, they're getting medication, they're getting on all this shit. Hold on, I'm gonna fix this. Ugh. They're getting on all this stuff, right? I call it poison, honestly. Um, that is really jacking them up and making them somebody that they're not. And I can sit here and say with confidence and with joy that my dad at one point said he took me to the doctor and they said I had ADHD and that I needed medication. He said, no, I'm not giving my child medication. And I freaking made it. I'm not addicted to drugs. I'm not an alcoholic. I do some other things like being out in nature and playing with trees. But the thing is people have this gift and they don't even know it, and it's so hard to pinpoint and know how to handle it, especially because you're trying to figure out your own emotions, let alone everybody in the room. And by being able to recognize this gift and really try to understand it, you really just have to understand yourself. And that also falls in line with meditating, going to know yourself and how you feel as a person compared to how you feel around other people. And I was never really, I kind of just learned about this by watching videos. I never had someone walk up to me and say, hey, Cassie, you're an empath, or hey, Cassie, this is what an empath is, or also having my intuitive feelings and listening to those and following those. I always did it. I've always had feelings and then followed them and listened to them, but a lot of people don't. And again, this, I feel like this is a gift. Like your body, your spirit, whatever else is around you is nudging you to make this decision, to think of it this way, to do this and do that. And sometimes you just got to listen and you have to just follow those instincts, because that's going to get you down a path faster, with more growth, with more opportunities. Just being able to say, you know what, I have faith that this is what's going to happen and I know it's going to work no matter what. And so listening to your intuition is kind of like just having faith that when you listen, it's going to be okay. And it's scary sometimes, but it's worth it. And I have found my chapstick this way. I have found remotes this way. I have done so many things in my life, just putting it down and saying, okay, guide me to this decision. Or sometimes I'm not even asking for it. I'm just walking, minding my own business, and something pops in my head, and then I just follow that. And they're like, wow, how did you know that? Or like, they're like, here, turn to this parking lot, you're going to get a good parking spot. And I'm like, okay. And then boom, princess parking, front row. Like you just, I want you guys to have homework today into researching being an empath or being intuitive. And being an empath is somebody that can really sense other people's feelings, and you can kind of like feel what they feel. And being intuitive is somebody who can really listen to their self and what their gut feeling is saying. I think it's like my spirit or my spirit guides nudging me a certain way, or even like Jesus, the Holy Spirit is what Christians say. Like, that's feeling that intuitive nudge and being in line with your intuition, so that when you are in this life facing these obstacles and these experiences, you're like, wait, I have help. Sometimes you have to just sit there and clear your mind to try to understand what that help is, or understand how to process it. And some people don't have patience. They don't want to do that. They don't want to take time out of their day to sit back and just be like, how am I going to handle this? So what they do is they start just thinking and thinking and thinking, but they never think of the best. They always think of the worst. Oh, what if this happens? What if this happens? Okay, well, like, you can't control that. So it took me a lot of time to renew my mind to think in a way where it wasn't with like filled with bad what ifs, because automatically we want to think, okay, all these bad things can happen, and that falls in line of living in fear, and that falls in line of being manipulated, but we won't go there. But the point is we're used to living in fear, so we have to renew our mind and teach it how to think differently in a way that's going to positively impact our decision making, and be able to have that confidence. We know that if we just sit down and listen to ourselves and to what's around us, we'll know what we need to do. And I do that. And I think everybody should do that. And instead of running around to everybody else saying, hey, oh my gosh, this is going on. What should I do? What do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? I may tell my friends stuff that's going on, but I never say, what do you think I should do? Because they're not in that moment and in that experience. And they could tell you all day long, oh, well, this is what I would do. But I've been in so many situations in my life where I'd say, oh, this is what I do. And then it happens to me and I'm like, oh, I totally did something different. You don't really know how to have perspective on the situation unless you've been through it or you're in it in that moment. So I'll vent to my friends, but I won't necessarily be like, hey, what do you think I should do? I'll sit down and have a moment with myself, and I may come to our friends and say, hey, this is what I come up with. Is this crazy? Is it stupid? Like, give me some feedback, but I'm not going to necessarily say, what should I do? They tell me, and then I just say, oh, okay, that's exactly what I should do. And sometimes decisions take a little bit of time to make. And with this fast-paced world we live in, everybody wants fast, fast, fast. I want a response now. I want a decision now. And just, I challenge you to take time to yourself to sit down and process those feelings that you feel in certain moments when you're alone and when you're with people. And then sit down and process those gut feelings, and maybe take note of when you're feeling them and how it's making you feel, so that you can learn how to process them. And I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think of what else I wanted to talk about. My wind chime's going. It's such a beautiful day out today. Coco's out here with me. She's over there. Oh, something that was really crazy that happened to me and my daughter the other day is it was raining outside, and there was no lightning and there was no thunder. It was just rain. So I like to sit out on my back porch and I like to drink a cup of hot tea while it's raining and kind of like just be in that moment. And so my daughter came out and was like, hey, can I sit with you? I'm like, yeah, of course. And I said, Amira, what would you do if you seen an alien right now where we're at? These dang 11s. Anyways, she's like, I would probably be scared and run. What would you do? And I was like, you know what? They'd probably try to talk telepathically. So I would look at them and just say in my head, like, what do you want? And she's like, you want to be scared? And I was like, I don't think so. Okay, so she's like, okay, well, I want to see if there's any aliens around us right now because I want to talk to them. And I was like, Amira, you have to be careful because you never know what you're communicating with. And she's like, okay, first I'll ask if they're good. And then so she's like, and she says, she's 11. She says, make it lightning if you're an alien here and you're a good alien, come in peace. And I swear, we waited like probably 5 seconds and it lightning. She goes, man, that took a while. I said, well, imagine how that all that energy they have to use to actually make that happen. And so we're just laughing like whatever, lightning. And she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna ask it to lightning if it's okay to ask questions. And it lightning. And then like she asked, is it okay to ask questions? And it lightning. And we look at each other, oh my gosh. So um she asked probably like 4 questions. And when it was done, I'll show you right behind me. So we were sitting under there and we could not see the side of this house. But out of nowhere, we heard on the side of the house I just showed you a rustle and a bustle, like as if something hopped over the fence, and it was like, and so when we heard that, we just looked at each other, and I was like, "Did you hear that?" And she was like, "Yes." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" As soon as she said yes, I got this feeling all over my body of like kind of like fear, but very anxious, and just it was just like excited but scared, but like it was weird. It was a really strong feeling. And so we just were like, oh my God, what should we do? Or the bus is here. I think my son just got home. And anyways, and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm kind of scared. And so we sat there a little bit and we heard more noise. And I just was like, okay, I don't want to play this game anymore. And we just ran inside to her room. Like I was a little girl. We just like ran to her room, and like Gio, my son, saw us run to her room, so he came running behind us. What are you guys doing? And we're like, go away. We're having a conversation. And he's like, okay, whatever. And so we go in there, and she's like, Mom, I thought you said you wouldn't run inside. And I was like, I know, but I didn't expect anything to happen. And she was laughing and I was laughing, and I was like, listen, I bet you that they probably made a branch or something fall from the tree to test us, and we ran inside like little babies, like little sissies, and they probably started rolling laughing saying, see, they ain't even ready. That wasn't even us. They ain't even ready. They can't handle it. And I'm just like, okay, so some of you guys might think, oh my gosh, you raise your daughter that way. I mean, at the end of the day, she's her own person. If she wants to believe that there's aliens and other beings and energies out there, then let her. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to manipulate her to think any type of way unless I think it's detrimental to her and her well-being. And at the end of the day, we all have spirits and we all have our own energies, and there's aliens out there. And if you don't believe that, then I'm so sorry. And I think that maybe I hope you continue to watch my podcast to have understanding of what this life is, and do some research on your own to learn and teach yourself so you know. I'm not here to be educational, like in the sense of I'm teaching you. I'm being educational in the sense that there's other things out there to believe in. Sorry, I feel like my hair is weird. And things that aren't being taught to us that I think we should have learned a long time ago. And I just want to try to open people's eyes to have an understanding of that. And if you don't believe some of the stuff that I say, that's fine. I don't I don't want to force anybody to believe or think exactly what I'm thinking. Like that's the whole point, is just being yourself and learning on your own and actually just trying to get better understanding of this experience, this life, this world, and you guys are going to come and tell me stuff too. I'm sure of it. And I'm going to say, wow, I didn't know that. Or, wow, that puts different things in different perspective. But at the end of the day, none of us know everything. Let's be real. I do not have all the knowledge, not even close. And but I do feel like the knowledge I do have and the wisdom I do have is beneficial to others. And I want to share that just like I would hope you guys would share with me. And that's that. But so yeah, we had that crazy experience. I can't even explain it. It was a rain. It was a storm. It was just a storm. As soon as we start talking and asking questions, it became a lightning thunderstorm. And I feel like that's how powerful different energies can be. No one else knew while it was thundering and lightning. They thought, oh, it's just a storm. We knew why it was. So to us, it was more than that. So sometimes I do sit here and I watch a thunder and lightning storm and I'm like, oh my gosh, is someone making the lightning or the thunder or the rain, or you know what I mean? Besides the people controlling it sometimes. But I know y'all could be out here thinking I'm crazy, and that's okay. Your craziness is welcome too, because we're all a little crazy. We're all a little crazy. But I'm hoping to get some people on here besides myself. I do have friends. We're just trying to find a time to line it up. I would love to get some other folks on here, but that's going to take time. I was trying to think of what to call them because they're not celebrities, but they are also people who are well known on the internet, like Billy Carson. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to say with that to the guy. Like, I want to go to Egypt so bad and go on his tours. That would be so cool. So it's just all these cool things that you find out about in life, in history, that you were taught one thing and then you find evidence of something else and you're like, wow, why have I been so naive this entire time I just been in my own world, la la la. Well, they said this, so that's true. They said this, that's true. But come to find out, I mean, what if people actually watch this one day? I hope they don't take it down. This is, what am I supposed to say so they don't take it down? This is all for fun and jokes. This is just a joke. This is for theatrical purposes only. I don't know what they say, but anyways, I think that there's coming a time on Earth where a lot of people are going to already know this. And I'm going to look back at these videos and be like, I was trying to tell y'all. And that's okay. I know there's people ahead of me that already knew all of this, that have been waiting since I was a kid for this big awakening to happen. The 3D to the 4D to the 5D. If you don't know, go look up 3D Earth, 4D Earth, 5D Earth, whatever. ChatGPT. I swear, I be using ChatGPT to ask spiritual questions all day long. I was here meditating and asked them about what it meant for there was a cardinal in the neighbor's dead tree. There was crows in my dead tree, only one. Sorry, there was one crow. And they were talking back and forth, and then a crow came out and attacked the other crow, and they both flew off. And I was like, hold up. Is this the universe, God, something trying to talk to me? And so I typed it into ChatGPT, and it gave me this whole breakdown of the meaning, and it was definitely spiritual, about just very deep. I could not quote it right now, honestly, off the top of my head, but it was so cool to just hear the what is it called, interpretation of ChatGPT on what had happened. So I encourage you guys to use that too, that app, ChatGPT. It's pretty cool. I don't pay for it, but some people do, and you can have like full conversations with them, and you get to pick your voice. Mine's Australian because I picked an American voice, and it started getting an attitude with me. I was like, bro, ChatGPT, you cannot be getting crunk with me. Okay, you cannot be like, are you serious? Like, no, let's calm it down a notch. That's the old Cassie. I'm not like that no more. Let's have a calm, a chill, calm conversation. So I changed it to Australian, and she's great. She's so sweet. Um, but I think I'm gonna go make some dinner now. So, anyways, this is Candid with Cassie, and I hope you guys have a most wonderful day. Bye.